If you consider yourself a beginner or a non-professional makeup putter-oner, this video is for you. We are going to go through the steps of this one compact cream makeup tutorial by Seint Makeup. First, you see that I am applying my contour makeup on my forehead. I am putting this in a rainbow arch type of shape. You're going to basically hit from the outer corner of your eyebrow on your left side to the outer corner of your eyebrow on your right side. The color that I am using here is olive. This is one of my favorite contour colors. Next step, you're going to dip your detail brush back into your contour and you're going to apply it just above the cheekbone. You'll apply it in a little swooping fashion, kind of like you see me doing in this video here. So the trick with this makeup is to not apply too much makeup. It is a highly pigmented cream-based makeup, which means a little goes a long way. The next step, when you're applying your cream contour, you are going to take it and put it underneath your jawline. So don't put it right on top, put it underneath, and that's going to really help balance out the chiseled look. The next step that I like to do is apply the contour on your nose. My fancy little trick here is to put it on using your ring finger. I find that you have a little more control over the placement of the contour when you do that. Next, I'm going to dip my brush back into the contour and I am going to lightly spread across the bottom of my lip a little bit of that contour shade to give my lip a plumper, juicy look. Okay, so 5 places to put your contour: your forehead, your cheekbone, your jawline, your nose to keep it looking skinny, and then your lips to keep that lip looking nice and full and juicy. We're taking this tutorial nice and slow today, so let's take that detail brush and let's go ahead and start blending in that contour. So for your forehead, you're going to kind of dab it into your skin so that it really gets into your pores, and you're going to brush up towards the hairline. And kind of the same thing for the contour on your cheekbones. You're gonna again dab it in, and then you're going to swipe it kind of back up towards like the top of where your ear is, back up to your hairline once again. And then when you're contouring, you're blending in the contour of your nose, take your detail brush and swipe it in towards the bridge of your nose. And for your neckline, you're gonna drag it back down towards the throat and the neck area to really pull down that shadow look. And you can see already that my face is starting to look defined and have a 3D effect. Once we have blended that contour in, it is time to do the main shade and the brightening shades. So these are gonna act as if it is your foundation. What you're usually used to with your liquid foundation is just having one shade. But the cool thing about this Seint Cream based makeup is that you almost have 2 or 3 different shades because our face isn't all one color. So the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna take your buff brush and dunk it in. Actually, dunking it is not the right word. Do not dunk. Lightly dab it into your main shade. So the main shade that I am using here is Aura, A-U-R-A. And you'll see that I'm kind of applying this on the more surface area portions of my face. And you know, you can swipe it, you can kind of like dab it and dot it into your skin. That's not how we're gonna blend it, but that's how we are going to apply it. And remember, I'm gonna say it 100 times in this video, a little goes a long way. Next, you see that I have my detail brush again, and I'm using the skinnier side. So what I did is I lightly pressed this into my brightening shade. So this is a little bit lighter than your main shade. And this is called Moonlit, is what I use. And you put it on your chin, Cupid's arrow, bridge of your nose, and the outer side of your eyes. Now you might think that you should also put this underneath your eyes, but that is wrong. When you put this light shade underneath your eyes, it actually highlights and brings out the bags under your eyes, which is the opposite of what we want to do. So I like to use this shade called Frenchie. and put a little dab of it underneath my eyelid and then kind of blend it in like I'm doing here. That way I don't actually highlight the bags underneath my eyes. I hide them, which is kind of the goal, don't you think? So again, I am lightly pressing all of this into my skin. I really want it to get deep down into my pores, so that kind of eliminates how large my pores are looking. And if you like start swiping this makeup, it's going to transfer back to the brush, because I mean, that's what makeup does. If makeup is like no transfer makeup, I mean, what is it, like glue? I mean, makeup is going to transfer. So again, when you are blending it in, it's really, really important to just really give it a good push into your skin, like lightly dab, stipple, 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 stipple. And when you get to the line of your contour, then you are going to want to take some time and really blend that line in between your highlight shade and your contour. Don't swipe away your contour, but just really blend those two lines together. As I continue to blend, I wanted to let you know how long each of these little tins should last you. So for example, your main shades, which are those main shades and the highlighting shades, those should last you probably 3 to 4 months before you have to buy a new one. And then your contour color is probably gonna last you 4 to 6 months, maybe even longer. This makeup, like I said, it is highly pigmented, and the whole idea of this strategy is it's buildable. So what you need to do is only put a little tiny bit on your brush at a time, and when you do that, you are going to do a light coverage first, and if you want more, then you can always build more onto your face. That's the beauty of this. Okay, so the next step of this, we are getting ready to put on our blush. So I am using the blush and bronzer brush, and I'm using the smaller end here to put a little bit on the smaller end, and I'm going to dab this lip and cheek color onto the top parts of my cheek and really bring it up towards my hairline. If you put it on that part of your cheek, you're gonna get a more lifted look. And if you put it on the apple of your cheek, you're gonna have a more full look. There's not a right or wrong way to do this, but those are kind of the differences in appearance that you'll get when you do this. Now you might have noticed I said this is lip and cheek. That's because you get to use this on both your lip and your cheek. It makes a beautiful pairing because they both do go together when you apply it like this. Here we go with the next part of the palette. It is our bronzer. I am using Bella Bronzer, and I am applying my Bella Bronzer with the fluffier end of my blush and bronzer brush. So the difference between a contour and a bronzer is that the bronzer really gives you a warmer look, so you know you don't look dead. I know that's morbid, but it really does warm up your face. So you are applying your bronzer in the areas where you would usually get kissed by the sun if you were to walk out, and wherever you usually get those brightening little flushes of pink on your face when the sun hits you. That's the best part for your bronzer. Okay, so remember how I talked about dabbing this into your skin and not swiping because it transfers? Well, here is the solution to that problem. You're going to get your 3D brush and you are going to put that into your Vanilla Dust setting powder. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take it and you're also gonna press this into your skin, kind of like the T-zone area or other places on your face that you typically get shiny. And then you're gonna take the other end of that 3D brush and you're gonna dunk it into your, I keep using the word dunk, not dunk. Lightly put it into your Pearl Illuminator, which is also cream, and you are going to provide those highlights to the areas that sit the highest. So your nose, the outer part of your eye, your chin, your Cupid's arrow. And my favorite secret hack is you can use this as a primer for your eyeshadows. Yes, this has dual purpose, and I love it, and I am obsessed. Okay, so you can see that I applied the Pearl Illuminator all over my eyelid, and I am actually now going to get my eyeshadow brushes and all of my eyeshadows that do live in the same compact as my other shades that I just showed you because this is an all-in-one compact, which makes it so easy to travel, or if you have to get to work early, or if you're running behind, literally grab your palette and go, people, go. It's so easy. You got to make this switch already. But anyways, I digress. Here we go. We are putting on some eyeshadow. And what I'm doing is I'm putting a more lighter shimmery shade all over my eyelid. Now, just like all of the cream makeups, this eyeshadow is also highly pigmented. We have 4 cream eyeshadows, but I don't have any of those. These are all truly powdered based. But what you're going to do is lightly press your brush into each of these. You don't need to pick up a ton of product. So you can see now I just picked another color that is slightly darker. Well, actually that color I just chose was a lot darker, but I'm going to take that and apply it to the outer corner and brush towards the center of my eyelid to really get that effect. And then I'm going to get underneath my eyelid as well to provide a bit of a shadow. The reason that we're going to swipe this powder towards the center of our eyelid is because if there is any flicker of dust, it's going to go towards our eyelid instead of outward back onto our face, where we don't really want any of that excess powder to go if you did happen to pick up a lot of extra eyeshadow onto your brush. So we can see, although the colors are pretty, it is definitely not well blended. So the name of the game with this makeup palette is to blend it. So I'm taking this fluffier end of this eyeshadow brush and I'm simply going to do some little swirlies to blend those 2 colors together. And you can kind of swipe up and around your eyelid, really just making sure that those 2 colors that you just chose, those 2 color points, really blend together nicely so it doesn't look like such an abrupt transition between the 2 colors that you have applied. Now, don't worry if you think the colors are mixing together. They do blend together beautifully when you do this, and I highly recommend this blending process to make it go on smooth. Here in this video, I am using my Clinique eyeliner. I usually use my Seint Black Friday eyeliner with the skinny end of a brush, but today I am going to utilize my Clinique eyeliner. Now, the one thing that this makeup system does not have is mascara. Obviously, I don't even know how mascara would really fit into one of these compacts, but the mascara that I typically use is Clinique brand, and here I am using the waterproof mascara. It comes in the green tube, and I like to apply the mascara on my upper eyelashes and then lightly get the ones below my eyelid. Usually when I do all of this, I somehow manage to get mascara on my face somewhere else, and so with that extra mascara somewhere on my face, and maybe there is some eyeshadow powder that kind of sprinkled elsewhere on my face, it's actually really simple to clean up. So really all you have to do is take the product that you still have left over on your buff brush and just kind of swipe it and apply it where you have those little oopsie mess ups with your mascara or some of the residual eyeshadow powder. You know how it gets kind of to the outer corners of your eyelids sometimes and you're like, wow, I just spent all this time. Well, that's exactly what the other end of the buff brush can do. Like I said, just use the remaining product that's still on that and then kind of swipe it up to really slice off that look and make it look nice and clean and crisp. Okay, so at this point, I think that my whole full face of makeup looks pretty complete. You can see on my cheekbones the dimension that I've added using the contour and the 2 different shades of foundation, my main shade and my brightening shade. You can also see where I have a hint of my lip and cheek color on my cheekbones, as well as a cohesive look using it as my lipstick. I also kind of love the shimmer effect that the Pearl Illuminator has provided with me here. And then of course, the easy, simple 2-color eyeshadow look that I have used using the Seint eyeshadow makeup. Let me know what you think in the comments.